inspirate and suspirate, breathe. We're going to anchor in wisdom. We're going to anchor in healing. This is for Americans, just the weekend before Thanksgiving. And it has been a year. I know it's not the end of the year, but this is a time of a culmination of thanks. And, you know, the holidays can be stressful anyway. And the pandemic has certainly been stressful in so many ways for so many people, ranging from losing loved ones to being confined to your home. You know, there's a big controversy about the elderly being confined during the holidays and not being allowed to see loved ones. And what is more healing? Love or masks? Or I know it's not a hierarchy, and I'm a big proponent of not making hierarchies, but anyway, I came up with a couple of lines of the week. This week is about burns, because if you're cooking for yourself, for a lot of people, if you're just cooking, you know, I always get little tiny cuts and burns. Maybe I'm accident prone. I don't have my hand, I don't have my hand brace on, my splint on for my thumb, because I was putting comfrey cream on it, because in a couple shows ago, we discussed with Hannah what heals bones, and comfrey, which is not in Shakespeare, is also called knit bone. And if you put it on a broken bone, it will adhere the bone together. However, you have to make sure the bone is in place. And she showed us her wrist where she had didn't have the bone in place, but it did heal, and it, you know, it's perfectly fine, I guess, but it's not. I don't think it's dysfunctional. It doesn't look. Well, I was going to say it doesn't look pretty, but you know what? There's this school of thought that our scars are these beautiful stars all over our body that mark points in our life. And I think that we have to rethink what beauty is and perfection and all that. And I don't want to get off on a tangent. So the line of the week, there were two things. First of all, burning. So I liked, and till he tell the truth, let the supposed fairies pinch him sound and burn him with their tapers. I mean, you can get burned on the stove, you can get burned with a pan, you can get burned picking up a spoon or with a candle. I once had my hair lit on fire when we were doing the scene from Othello. That was fun, dramatic. So that's that. Let the supposed fairies pinch him sound and burn him with their tapers. So we're going to talk about what heals burns, or what you can put on a burn immediately and long term to help deal with just little mishap burns, I guess. And I see Hannah is on. Look what I have behind me. 'Tis the season of rosemary trees that you can just get. Hi, Hannah. Sorry, forgot to crush and sniff. Because if you want to keep your stress levels low, you know, grab some rosemary, crush, because you want to release the oils in the scent, and breathe it in. That has a very, very astringent scent. And then there's another kind, you know, there's always more. I just got these this morning. That's a weird one. But anyway, I'm going to pop on later this week to show you some things that you can do with your rosemary. I have here rosemary water that I made, and I just put a sprig of rosemary in it. So it's kind of like a little memory tea. It's hot water with lemon, but I put rosemary in it. I don't like things super sweet. And then you're just feeding your memory all day long. There's all these memory supplements you can take, or you can just make rosemary tea.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. I've been experimenting with all kinds of stuff. Oh, here's a crush and sniff that will work. I actually found, and Hannah, please confirm this for me, actual live marjoram. Oh, that's mint. No, that's round leaf.
It could well be marjoram. Yeah, it's something minty for sure.
We'll crush it. Yep. And that's another thing, knowing the scents, once you start crushing and sniffing, it has that funny flowery, that funny perfumey scent, which is weird in food, but great for your nose. And I also got mint. we'll be working with that. That's a beautiful sprig of mint, crushing and sniffing. Oh, it just, the breathing cleans the organs and refreshes the body, and then you add the scent to it, and it will get you through the holidays, whether you're alone or with your loved ones. So, small burns. I miraculously do not have any because I haven't been, majorly cooking, but I am going to I promised to make this. I call it the 6 Shacks of sweet potatoes, and it has sweet potatoes, which is from Merry Wives of Windsor, as was the line that I gave, and burn them with their tapers, and pepper and ginger and thyme. I think I bought thyme as well. Yes, thyme.
Nice.
Yeah, and so we're going to be posting the recipe for that and a few visuals about how to make it. It's not hard. And it's for those who want to have a savory sweet potato. It has a lot of different textured flavors, but no melted marshmallows. And we had to break it to Hannah a couple shows ago that Americans melt little marshmallows all over their sweet potatoes and turn it into, thing that's not good for you, and we're going to show you this delicious recipe that is great for you on so many levels. But anyway, if you burn yourself making it, Hannah is going to tell us what to do. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, a little bit like you said at the start of the session, what we're going to be talking about now are things that you can use pretty safely for sort of what are classed as first degree burns. So those very superficial sort of first layer of skin burns only, and really small ones as well. So anything that goes around a limb, not herbal. Anything that's bigger than the palm of your hand, not herbal. And anything deeper than that first layer of skin, you need something more than herbal. So this is like sort of home first aid kind of burn remedies. Mm-hmm. So the first one I wanted to talk about, which I wasn't sure was in Shakespeare, but you tell me it is aloe.
Yes, in Lover's Complaint.
Aha. So with aloe, what you do is, obviously because aloe grows in that lovely kind of, I've got my plant on my windowsill, I should have got it, but you basically slice a leaf just off one of the outer parts, and then what you can do, you can just about see there all that lovely juice inside it, and you can dab it straight on your burn and kind of rub it in like that, and it's pretty stringy, but you can kind of feel that it's really cooling and soothing, and it kind of puts on a little bit of a protective layer as well. The other thing you can do is you can slice it open with a kitchen knife very carefully so you don't cut yourself as well as burning yourself. And you can
keep the injury quotient low.
And you can scrape out all of the gel, because it's that really lovely, that's not showing up at all well, but basically the gel from the leaf that's the useful parts. So it's a really good idea to have an aloe plant on your kitchen windowsill all the time.
And that's very easy to do. And I grew up part of the time in Florida, and we just, we had them around all the time, and people were always getting sunburned. Is sunburn a first degree?
Yeah, well, usually if it's not severe, I mean, for sunburn, again, you don't have to buy expensive after suns. You can just buy a tube of aloe vera gel. And use that and just layer it on. But then the other thing you can do with that as well, if you want to kind of soup up your after sun, is you can add in some lavender essential oil and mix it into your aloe vera gel. Because lavender essential oil is one of the few ones that you can put on your skin directly and it not cause a problem, but equally it has a fantastic action for helping to take down the heat and the swelling from the burn, but also to stop the scarring that you'll often get from a burn.
Oh, that's really helpful. Oh, to keep from scarring, you want to add the lavender to the aloe. I love that. The only line that is in Shakespeare for lavender is from Winter's Tale, hot lavender, and people have puzzled over why he says hot, because it itself is not hot like ginger has heat, and so there's been speculation that it's because it grows in hot areas like the big field of Provence and stuff, but maybe it has something to do with what you're talking about, that relationship to heat, bringing the heat out. I love that. It's so interesting. Okay. I don't want to like spring anything on you, but if it were a deeper burn, and here's just another cautionary tale. When I was a little kid, my mother poured hot water into a glass pitcher, and it wasn't Pyrex, and it exploded. Ooh. And she got these huge 3rd-degree burns on her thighs. We have these crazy pictures of them, just giant round blisters on her thighs. It was, very traumatic for everybody. Don't pour anything into glass unless you have a metal conductor. I mean, make sure it's Pyrex. If you're not sure, A, don't do it. Or B, make sure you have a metal conductor like a knife or a metal spoon or anything like that. But anyway, if it's not herbal, where do you go for are we talking, where do you go for big burns?
So, I mean, the first thing you really want to do with any kind of burn or any kind of scald is you need to be running it underneath cold water. So get your cold water tap running, and it's important not to put whatever you've burnt or scalded in something cold. So it's if you burn your hand, for example, and you put it in a bowl of cold water, right. The water will heat up because of the heat of your burn. So you need to keep the cold water flowing over and over and over it, and flushing that heat out. And then get to a medical practitioner, really.
Okay. All right. So there's how to deal with little tiny burns. I was a bad girl last night and binge watched the rest of Little Fires Everywhere, which also is within the burn theme. And it's really amazing, but really very intense. So there's just one more, line that I want to say. You can learn the burn line. Supposed fairies pinch him sound and burn him with their tapers. Or you can go the thankful route, because I know it's been a hard year. And I know many of you aren't having Thanksgiving. And also our Thanksgiving is supposedly celebrating the first harvest since breaking off from England. So sorry, Hannah. But, we're thankful that we're here and that people care about us and are trying to figure out how to help us through this very extraordinary time in history. And certainly the frontline healthcare workers in any country, the essential workers on all levels, we want to say thanks to them. So 1,000 thanks is from Henry VIII, and pray them take their pleasures. 1,000 thanks, and pray them take their pleasures. Have a great week. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back to find other ways to heal your brain and body and spirit and all of that stuff.